right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. We got a special treat right here. This is an exhibition game. All young men from the JRDA Open Division. So for the first time ever, they will be going straight up young men. And why not? We're at the Men's Roller Derby Association Championships. So I am Justin Credible. I'll be joined on the mic here by Jumping Spider. He's just sprinting up here right now. You got your breath, buddy?
I think so.
Okay.
I think I've still got it in me.
All right, so it has been a long day. You're seeing a lot of action here. One thing we've noticed is the floor is making a difference. You're seeing jammers get tired. Seeing blockers really have a lot of energy because they get to dig in with all 8 wheels. Now I've got a chance to announce about, I would say, roughly 100 games this year for juniors. So I've got a chance to announce most of these young men out here. And they are truly spectacular. Spider, if you haven't had a chance to watch these guys, they are truly spectacular, and they're going to make the men we're currently watching look like nothing here in a few years. I mean, they're amazing.
I'm excited to watch this. I'm excited to announce this game. I've heard you especially talk a lot about JRDA, about Junior Derby. But roller derby being what it is, it's been very difficult to catch on with young men in particular. There's so many other sports out there that are more popular, and it seems more, a lot easier for them to
Well, there's
place.
more opportunity for young men a lot of times than there is for younger women, especially when you're looking at what roller derby can attract. A roller derby, you don't necessarily have to be a sprinter. You don't have to be the highest jumper in the world, and you can be amazing at roller derby. You maybe won't be able to do football, track, soccer, some of these other things, but you may be able to do roller derby, so it gets to attract sometimes people that can't do other sports. And we've always found that in roller derby at every level. With the younger folks, like you said, the young boys, it's starting to catch on, but maybe just not like it has with the young ladies. So.
And I mean, this is a great opportunity for people in the crowd who have young sons and young daughters and young it's been a long day. Have young people at home of any gender to see Junior Derby for what it is, and then they'll come back and they'll give their young people at home the opportunity to play.
Absolutely. And we got blue versus white here. Now, we have a roster here. So if we leave anybody off, mispronounce the name or whatnot, it is a very rough roster that's handed to us. We're going to do the best we can with what we got. We will recognize some of these youngsters, so we'll fill in where we can. But here's what we got. In the blue, we're going to have Luke Skywalker from Emerald City Reservoir Dolls, Reno from Foco Spartans, Hater Tot from Mob City Misfits, Shreddy Van Halen from Reservoir Dogs Emerald City Roller Derby, Shocking J from Rollin' Rebellion, Dr. Boom from Skate City Sirens, KB the Rockstar from California Mayhem, 2 Braids from Tulsa Derby League Brats, Bobblehead from River City Riot, Ben Jammin from Diamond City Miners, Speed Bryu the brother from Diamond City Miners, Tomahawk from Philly Juniors, Joe Hurt from River City Riot, and Road Rage from the Attack Pack. On the white side, got Godspeed from Lone Star Chaos, Terror Bear from North Texas Fallout, TIE Fighter from Philly Junior Roller Derby, and Gotham Girls Junior Derby, Jake Break from River City Riot, Crazy J from Roller Rebellion, Lakota Arms from SDG Butcher Babes, Princess from Skate City Sirens, Frico Suave, my favorite derby name, from Tampa Junior Roller Derbies. Hey, Skip, if you're out there, I love that one. Blade from Tulsa, Pretty Boy Floyd from Tulsa, B Savage River City. That's a tough one, yeah. Unstoppable from Junior Philly Roller Derby, Dragon Lord, no current team, formerly of Centex Juniors, High Roller, River City Riot, Just in Time, Tampa Bay, and work our way down to, from my hometown, Enigma from Des Moines Derby Brats, DeSnake from Des Moines Derby Brats, Bumper Car Diamond City Miners, and Love Tap from California Mayhem. If you haven't seen Love Tap, you can't miss him. That is a man-child. He will mess you up if you get in his way.
Well, I think the most exciting thing is how many different cities and how many different teams you just called in those 2 lineups alone. This is truly becoming a national sport, and obviously this is only showcasing one part of it, as this is a young men's game. There's young women out there, as I said, young people of all genders already competing in JRDA.
Well, we have a junior ref out there. If you look on the other side in the pink helmet, we have a junior announcer down here. Not quite junior, but Kurt Copain's been announcing since he's a junior. He's on the house, great announcer. And I know you've heard this a million times. Everybody's heard this. If you do not have a junior team, your league will not survive. I just want to, just at a personal example, Team United Roller Derby has 5 players on it that came out of the world champion Des Moines Derby Brats. They are filling their rosters with juniors because they've been skating for 6 years by the time they get to us. And on out here, you'll see Disnake and Enigma. One is 17, the other one is 15, and they can take on your mom, who's here playing for a championship. So, I mean, you need to have juniors or you're not going to survive as a league going forward, or you're not going to survive successfully as a league.
Well, it's all about talent development. That's what you see in every sport, and that's how sports survive. I mean, AAU gets a lot of criticism, but when you get good coaches, good coaching staffs, and good parents in there, and I cannot stress that enough, good parents.
Good parents, yes.
You get teams and you get players that not only appreciate the game, but other young people who follow them in, whether it's basketball, football, baseball, softball, soccer, what have you. And roller derby is exactly the same.
And one thing that is fantastic is because derby is such an open community when it comes to all aspects of life, these young men and then the young women also who do it get to be so much more open. They get more experiences in life, and you just tend to find that those prejudices and bigotries that plague society don't plague these young people at all.
Oh, that's another great point. When you get people of different differences, who get to play together and get to know one another, then that understanding deepens of situations, of backgrounds, and that's an excellent point. That's another reason why this is so important.
Yeah, I love it. Absolutely. Juniors are my right up there as my favorites. Big fans of them. And I was wrong. Actually, our junior ref is out here in the inside. If I remember, she is from, I think, North Texas, right down here with the ponytail. Her name escapes me. I remember watching her at Junior Champs, and she is a powerhouse. And I'm kind of glad that she's not playing because she could hurt some people out there. She can lay a boom on people. But for the juniors, I also wear My Little Ponies.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're in Texas. They like ponies.
I am wearing the exact same clothes I've worn all day. So as they used to say back in the day, I might be a little bit loud right now if you were close to me. Justin's staying in with me. We've known each other a while, so we can deal with any smells that might be emanating from me. But I think what I'm really excited to watch is I'm going to get that feeling when I was a kid. These kids bounce. You remember when you bounced off of things and bounced off a lot of hits, and now you go down and you get up a lot more slowly? I'm excited to see the resiliency of these kids.
Oh, no, these young men are going to light each other up. And right off the bat,
that is number 16 on the blue team.
Yeah, that's going to be Reno, and I know Reno because he has that great mullet.
He's got an excellent stride, too. He'll be taking the sojourn in the ride.
And that is just in time right here from Tampa, if I remember right.
So no pass, no penalty on just in time, as you said. Rido in the penalty box, so no lead jammer right off the bat on this jam. So we get to see not only the kids' resiliency, but their stamina as well. A full 2-minute jam.
That's right. And right down there you can see in the orange helmet, that's Love Tap. And you will see he's the same size as a lot of the big blockers you'll see out here this weekend. On the men's side, he is a big heavy hitter and a great kid by all good means too.
Oh, I'm looking at them right now. I'm like, man, these kids are kids are big.
And that's number 43, Enigma. I refer to him as Bieber. Every time he takes out mouth guard, he owes me 100 push-ups, so that will stop that action. Right next to him is D Snake, also from the Des Moines Derby Brats.
And we're going to have a call right there. Rido going to head back to the penalty box. Is that Reno heading back to the penalty box. I'm taking some time, folks. I apologize.
Yep, and out front there we have KB the Rockstar. You see him. He's also in the orange helmet from California Mayhem. KB the Rockstar, one of the other – all these kids are all-stars, but one of the standouts really in junior roller derby. That boy can fly. When he decides he's going to go, he gets airborne.
As we're playing this game, as me being more of a neophyte, like a newcomer to watching and announcing junior derby, I want to talk about what some of the development strategies are for training with younger kids, rather than a lot of roller derby I've experienced is introducing older people to the sport that they might not have played the sport before, might not have even played organized sports before. So I want to talk about what's different with kids who might have had some experience with the usual sports like soccer, basketball, football.
Well, I can tell you right now, the biggest difference between I work with WFTDA teams. I work with MRDA teams. I work with JRDA. JRDA, they tend to listen quicker. They tend to learn quicker. They tend to figure because they don't have any preconceived notions of what it should happen or any other sports. They just go for it. There goes KB the Rockstar. He'll be your lead jammer. They just tend to, and I'm not saying this is for all juniors, but I just found they tend to get it a little bit quicker and they tend to absorb it a little bit faster. So.
Already we have a nice foot race out here in the Garden.
And that's number 22. That would be Godspeed. And again, that is KB the Rockstar. KB is just, he's smooth. He is a great, that is his father over there. That's JB the Rockstar coaching. On the other side, you're seeing, what is that, Quadzilla over there? And is that TJ over there as well? So, I mean, they're getting some superstar power on their bench as well.
I mean, that's, when you have coaches like that, you're going to pick up the game.
Absolutely, and everybody in Des Moines is coached by Mark Muse, whether they're men, women, or youth. And I don't know, I just have a big place in my heart for these young folks, and they play their heart out, and they're great. They're just absolutely phenomenal. You see that KB taps them on the inside, goes to the outside. Oh, they're gonna call him for a cut, but he tries to do a little tricky move. I think he's kind of giggling about it. That's a Tony Muse move right there.
I think what's really nice to see is that even at this young age, and you have skaters out here on the track of all ages, as you can tell, shapes and sizes. They're already learning strategy, both vocal and nonverbal. You're seeing signals coming from the bench. You're seeing the jammers give signals to their blockers on the track, and that's so important in roller derby because the team that can communicate the most effectively without saying much, they are on that same wavelength, and that's usually the team that finds themselves going the furthest.
Yeah, and people will tend to ask, too, when it comes to the juniors. Oh, there goes KB, goes airborne.
Excellent.
They'll tend to ask, okay, what about the little kids? Little kids can play, too, and when they get on the floor with the big kids never light them up. They never light them up. There's respect there. There's rules in place, but there's respect there. They ask about boys and girls playing together or whatever gender you want to affiliate with. There is an open division that is all genders, and then there's an all-female division in the JRDA that is only people that affiliate as being female.
Identify as female, yeah.
Identify, sorry, I used the wrong word. Been a long day, peeps.
No, I feel you. I understood what you were saying, but I think when you get a group of older young people who are really willing to bring the younger ones along, that not only helps the coaching staff, but it fosters that sense that we were talking about of community understanding.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. All right now that would have been Road Rage from the Attack Pack. Road Rage has an appropriate name. Road Rage is a bundle of aggressive energy on the track at all times.
It's funny, we had all these leading with the head penalties earlier today, and now when these kids of a certain height, they put their head down, it's going to force the referees to make some tough calls.
Well, and there's number 5, Frico Suave. Again, best derby name ever. No, you don't have to leave the track on that one.
Okay.
Just calling a no lead, thought it was a cut call.
It was very close. He shrugged the block there and was able to keep his feet in bounds.
And a low block called on Frico. So once again, you're seeing this is an all-star young men's team. So if you're out there, you're some of the best. You applied, obviously, so it's not all of the best. But so nobody worry about it at home. If you see one of the little guys take a hit, the little guys can take that hit. They've taken those hits before, and they'll give them right back.
They're ready for it.
Yeah.
I can already tell we're about 7 minutes into the gameplay. As the blue team right now leading the white team by the score of 39-18. But really, I'm just trying to focus on I'm personally just trying to focus on individual players and team play and watch. This is an exhibition game.
Yeah, it is, and it's a show. 5 years ago, I would have said no way we could even have this game. There just wasn't enough young men in junior roller derby. The numbers are growing, like we talked about. Not big enough to have their own league yet, but it's getting there and it's working. And that open division on JRDA is well received. That the young men and the young women like playing together. They love the co-ed atmosphere. So it is nothing like they're trying to ask them to leave Junior Derby and make their own league. It's just showcasing what these young men have.
Right, and I completely understand that. I like the co-ed aspect that you get from juniors, because especially as the world evolves and people's understanding of each other evolves, and people are more open about how they identify, being able to compete together, I think, once again, I keep saying fosters understanding, but it makes people more comfortable around each other.
They do. If you have more experiences in life, you tend to be more comfortable socializing each other. But looking out here, these people are the ones 5-6 years. All these kids are going to be playing at the MRDA championships most likely. So why not showcase them right now so you can see them over the years and see how they've grown and developed? Frico Suave, everybody's favorite right out there. But Reno is your lead, and Reno will call it off before. Frico, get anything? No.
That was a very good effort, though. Obviously, race to the back of the pack.
So at Junior Champs, Frico Suave, for anybody that's watching it, was the young one that was in the flamingo costume dancing around. That was Frico Suave. I just know because I'll be damn, who also announced all those games with me, Tampa fan from Tampa, loves Frico Suave's name as much as I do. It's a fantastic Derby name.
We got some names out here that I know these kids are too young. Pretty Boy Floyd, these kids are too young for that.
There's some that didn't show, like DUI and some of those that aren't on here, but there's some crazy names in the junior level. And there goes KB the Rockstar one more time. And that is D-Snake from Des Moines. So D-Snake and KB, very familiar with each other. They have played for the championship before against each other. And they are probably, those two and Zenbad from California are probably the most prolific jammers in all of Junior Derby.
Wow.
And Reno still has the best mullet out of all of them. I've touched that mullet. I had to ask him, man, come on, let me touch your mullet. He's like, of course, come on. Get in on this. All right, we got Just in Time out there. Yeah, that actually did happen in Lincoln. I'm not kidding. And we got Road Rage as well. Just in Time had a great championship. And he will be your lead jammer. Plays for Tampa. Had just an absolutely fantastic tournament season with JRDA. Oh, he goes airborne. Did he land it? He did. Grand slam. Just in Time.
These kids are already very familiar with that easiest path to take flight. Almost another nice move, but an excellent block there by number 26 in blue. That's Speed Bryu from Diamond City Miners.
Yeah, Speed Bryu and Benjamin, the brothers, are a force to be reckoned with, the Twin Towers. So pay attention to these names as we're calling them off. As these kids still have to graduate high school. If they're going to go to college, they're going to run off and do that, military service, whatever they want to do after high school, obviously. But you will see them. They will not leave Derby. Most of them, once they get in, they stay in unless something has to pull them out, whether they go to medical school or something along those lines. These kids want to keep playing, and these kids will have 6-7 years experience when they make it to the next level. So very impressive.
Now, a serious question here. With a lot of skaters that join in MRDA or WFTDA, some burnout can be a factor after a couple of years. Has that been a problem with juniors that play for 4 or 5 years?
I haven't. There's a forum call right there. I have not seen that issue with our juniors. They move up to the next level. The issue is going to be when you train them, do you keep them? We've lost one to the East Coast because you want to go to medical school. But the rest of them have stayed local because there's a lot of colleges around Des Moines. So you're basically, are you building a player that goes to somewhere else, you know? But none of them have burnt out. I mean, we've had people graduate over the last 5-6 years that are still part of the team. So, like I said, we have 5 players from the juniors that are on our team. And we have one who actually, Goodnight Irene, who actually plays for Philly. So she went out there. She's from our junior league too. So
I'd imagine, I mean, roller derby being as prevalent as it is, if you go to college somewhere, there's bound. I think college actually helps foster a lot of roller derby teams. I've talked to a lot of people when I was back in Peoria with the Peoria Push that played roller derby in college in DeKalb, in Arizona, a lot of different places. So I think that college atmosphere sometimes helps roller derby anyway.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so what do we got down here? We got number 23, we got KB, the rock star. Other side. And that's white 22. That's going to be Godspeed. And Reno going to head to the penalty box.
Quick call there by KB. Seen him make a couple of very nice moves already, whether it was just a mental move where he waited, picked his time, let the defense clear the spot for him, or whether he faked the defense out of position and was able to slide through.
Well, and you're already seeing some of the action that we've been talking about. So you got Kurt Copain plays for Magic City. He had played for their junior team, the Attack Pack, this last season, turns 18. Very good player at the junior level. Was he the absolute best? Absolutely not, but he was one of the best down there. Immediately walks in and can play at the MRDA level. So if you're seeing somebody of his high caliber that can play at the level, these kids are at that level, if not higher, some of them. You want these kids on your team, by all given stretch of imagination. And there goes Enigma. He'll head to the penalty box. And if you look down, a lot of these people's parents are in attendance as well. You brought that up, that, the good parents that work with you. I found the parents have been absolutely fantastic in juniors. And if you look around, a lot of the people here are the parents right now. They came here to watch their kids play this.
I mean, that's something you consistently see in youth sports. But from the overall tournament that we have here, you still have a good amount of people left over from watching the day's action here as well.
Oh, they're interested. They know this is good derby here. And this is a true national all-star team of just the best of the best here.
Maybe a little scouting going on?
A little bit. And there goes just in time. He is off and running. He will be your lead jammer. And I think that's probably going to be, is that Ben jamming down there? Can't really get a good look. Yeah, that'll be Ben jamming in blue.
Already see some triangle blocking things that that just took hold in WFTDA, MRDA. Already seeing that out on the track. The white team using it right there to try and force blue jammer to the inside.
Oh, and KB the Rockstar did not like the call. Went to the penalty box after the point of no return and didn't really like the idea of having to take a lap, but he'll do it anyhow. KB is a very emotional player. For anybody that knows KB the Rockstar, he's very emotional, which sometimes gets him in some trouble. But when he stays level-headed, he could be one of the top 3 or 4 players in all of Junior Derby.
Now a nice chance for the white team to catch up as just in time called for a track cut. Looked like that was good work on defense.
Oh, and we have a nasty pileup down there. Is there any penalty? Yeah, low block's going to be called against somebody. Looks like Love Tap going to get the call. Love Tap, just a gigantic young man of power, but always with a smile on his face because he's just a great guy.
I can see. I saw him in the penalty box right now. Gave the thumbs up, reminiscent of one of our stars that we watched today.
Oh, and Jonathan, our heart goes out to you, buddy. Speedy recovery on the broken bone there. We hope you and wish you all the best, and hope to see you back on the track. Hope this isn't it for you, bud. We love to see you. Oh, and a nice spin out there by Justin Time, but not before picking up another 4 points. Look at the game, though. We got 66-48. That was a 17-9 jam in favor of White. 14 left in the first period. All right. And we got D-Snake. He is out there for White. Going to give us blue 10, which would be Road Rage. D-Snake and KB tend to be up there with Zenbat as, like we stated, the 3 of the best out there. And he is great. reminiscent of Dante Muse because Dante Muse and Mark Muse coached him how to skate. So,
well, I mean, that was a spin. That was just a very tight.
That's a cut. Yeah, he jumped out of bounds. That's a cut. Men are those men because that's who taught him how to skate. So, and I saw his mother in the audience right before I came up here, and she is always in the audience for him. Great fan of roller derby and of her son.
That support is important, you know, at any age really, but at this age especially.
And there we go, and Road Rage is through for a 5-point grand slam, taking up to 10-point jam, 80-48 in favor of blue.
I want to see how the white defense responds there. Is Road Rage able to slide through, the white having trouble guarding the outside line, even though they were in that triangle 3 wall.
And D-Snake just slides right through them. Yeah, this is the only problem you ever see with an all-star game is they just don't play together. They don't practice a lot together, so the play is not going to be as smooth as it is with their typical teams. Oh, great inside rail action, though, picking up another 4 points as D-Snake is trying to work that pack. And he's going to the line, going back in the fire over and over again until he finally takes a hit.
He was riding the outside line there very, very well, but does move very quickly to the inside and grab the point. He does grab those points.
Yeah, former speed skater and American Ninja Warrior hopeful here one of these days. Yeah, he's into it. And
what another avenue for sports that can improve your agility.
Oh, absolutely. And when you're just young and strong, you can do stuff like that. We can't. We're old and brittle.
I think that brings up another point and something that I've been seeing a lot in sports. Just people talk about in terms of it kind of relates to burnout. When you have kids who like American Ninja Warrior and like roller derby and like even other sports, what are your thoughts on specialization, having kids just compete in one sport?
Well, I'm not into specialization. I mean, I never had to go through it as a kid. I went to college on a track scholarship, and I was never specialized until I chose to make that specialization. I think with exposure, some of these things go back and forth. We have young people on our team that do other sports like cross country, football. They play in the band. They do all the other stuff, you know, that young kids do. They just happen to do this as well. But we also have young people that they are speed skaters and they are roller derby players, and that is what they do, period. And that's just what they're good at. If you want to specialize, hey, more power to you. You're going to be great down the road. But it just wasn't a thing when I was growing up. You played football, you ran track. You ran track, you played basketball, you know?
Right, if you played a sport in the fall, you played a sport in the spring.
Yeah.
If you played a sport in the winter, you play a sport in the summer. I played baseball, I ran track, I played soccer. I was shout out to band. Shout out to all those kids in the band out there. It'll improve your stamina, it'll improve your wind, especially if you play a wind instrument. So keep
and it increases your brain power too, because the same brain components handle math and whatnot.
Exactly.
So, but no, back to these kids though. I mean, they go into MMA, they go into American Ninja Warrior, do all these things because they see it. Roller derby, as it becomes more and more open where people can see it, kids will join. Yeah, I mean, they'll get into it when they see, I want to do that. I want to go hit somebody. That sounds great, right. You know? And there goes KB, the rock star, off and running. And he's sitting over there unstoppable. Oh, and Unstoppable sneaks through. Did he get anything? Did he get it? No.
That's a tough call.
Man, I mean, we don't have the best angle, man, but wow. The angle you guys are going to see on your screen, the upward angle into turn 3, that is where we are, if anybody hasn't told you today. We're hiding right back behind there, up in the rafters, and it is hot up here. I keep losing clothes. Do not pan that thing back to me. Keep that camera off us. All right, trying to see we got Frico Suave down there, and at number 30, that's going to be Juke Skywalker.
Player of a larger build, but still not lacking for speed, as you saw there on that second turn.
Oh, and Love Tap just makes a couple great moves, and he is off. And there are hits and stuff. There's a forearm call. Now, the other thing you'll see here is, yes, there is some argument from the young men and the young women and juniors, but typically they just leave the track and go to the box. They don't want that insubordination. They don't like that.
And that's something you always see from, your coaches drill you into that. I know mine did. When you get a call, do not argue with the officials.
Yeah, it's not worth it. You're not going to win. Why make the argument? No ref's like, you know what, you're right, come back in. No, it never happened. They made the call. You did the crime. Go do the time in the box. They're not just calling random stuff. You did it. Now go to the box and serve your time. Oh, Frico takes a big hit. He'll call it off. But picking up 3 points for young Mr. Suave, 95-59. Now, one thing I'm looking at the rosters here, and the blue tends to have a lot more of the players from the same team on those teams. Not saying the white doesn't, but it looks like there's some split on the white here a little bit. So maybe a little more team unity here, a little cohesiveness maybe?
I mean, that makes sense. If you, like you said, if you played with someone more frequently, you know their moves, you have an expectation, and you're both, 2 or 3 players are on a certain wavelength. They're more used to it. They're more comfortable playing with each other.
Well, it's clear that the game's rigged at this point. We've already figured that out, yeah.
Oh, it was just totally set up.
All right. People on Twitter and Facebook, don't light me up for that. I'm just kidding.
Don't call them up. The blue team with a sizable lead here. I'm, as always, a fan of the underdog, and I just want to see a close game. But I absolutely love what I've seen from both teams' players.
There you go, asking you will receive. No, a low block also. Jammer race to the box.
The Derby gods heard me, and they said, no, we love the favorites.
And now we're going to go 2 minutes. Just under 8 minutes left here in the first period. 95-59, blue on white. Special exhibition game. Oh, it's been a long day. Of all the boys from junior, an all-star team of boy juniors, legal star pass there. These guys would all play in the open division, JRDA. So you can see them on their teams throughout the season. And this right here, we always say with juniors, this is the future of roller derby. This is the future of men's roller derby right here.
Well, when you get into the older division, it's not professional necessarily, but the of age co-ed teams as well. And I think just the visibility, promoting the visibility of it, and there's some difficulties with it.
Cut call.
I do tend to chafe at showing a lot of young amateur and high school contests on primetime television for reasons we might get into, but I would love to see this more televised. I've had my issues with how ESPN and major networks promote Little League players and how that may affect them in the long run. But something like this, I think this deserves to be visible, more visible, televised, so people around the country, around the world can see it, and then get into the development like we talked about.
Yeah, absolutely. This is nothing but a positive experience and positive atmosphere for these young folks. And again, we'll see these young men, if they so desire, that they will play in the MRDA somewhere down the road, or whatever incarnation of roller derby is in the future for all of us. They're
going to be playing on air. They're going to be playing on like hydro skates, underwater.
Yeah, the game evolves enough. I was talking to my youngsters the other day, and I started talking about minors and majors and poodling and stuff, and they just thought I was crazy. They thought I was making stuff up, and I was like, no. This is what we used to do, guys.
Has the sport really gotten to that point? Now we got to go to the black and white days.
They have no idea.
Roller derby.
Yeah, we still have to teach them the old rules of, hey, so if the pivot's got a toe stop down on the pivot line, you have to be behind their hips. And like, who came up with that? I was like, just do it. Don't question me on this.
You got to learn about the past to move up to the future.
Yeah.
Good showing here from the white team, especially on that last jam. 23-7 they won, and they've cut down that deficit.
20
now
points,
102-82.
Yeah, 20-point lead. No, never mind. They just changed it on us, 21 points. So 102-81, 22-7 jam. 6:10 left here in the first period. Oh, and actually, we do have 2 juniors, because that is actually, I believe, that is Kurt Copain's sister in the pink helmet. So we do have a couple junior refs out there. So
excellent.
So I was right-ish. I didn't realize I was right, but I am right.
You're going to have juniors at every position, and now you know what I want to see? I want to see some junior announcers.
There's one right down there, Kurt Cobain. He announced at juniors with me.
I'm talking about some 10-year-olds, man.
Their voices still crack. Their voices still crack.
You got to train them to get that speak from the diaphragm.
And that is just in time. He is your lead jammer.
Had a very quick.
Oh, and that is a penalty call.
Back to the box, yeah.
Wow, so that is Tomahawk. Tomahawk's racking up some penalties here. We don't have Ringster and all of our fancy gizmos here in front of us, so we can't give you a lot of information beyond what we're making up on the spot here.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So we'll make up all kinds of stuff, and I'm going to go ahead and reduce his penalties down to 1.
Oh.
Just 1.
Well, I know that's at least his second.
That's his second or third at this point, yeah.
White team with an opportunity here as they have a power start coming up. Will be number 29 on the jammer line for the white team, and that is Unstoppable from the Junior Philly Roller Derby. Philadelphia well represented here.
Now, oh, absolutely, absolutely. All right, so let's pan this camera back to us here.
I thought you didn't want the camera.
No, I want to show them what we're working off of here. Give him a tap there. Let's have him pan the camera back over to us here.
We're going to see if we can work with our director.
We'll wait till the action stops here, and I'm going to show you what we're working off of so you can see how impressive we are.
I mean, what we've got up here, the setup that we have right now, keeping track of statistics.
See this right here? That's the rosters working out. So if you wonder why we're pausing and hesitating people, that's what we're working with right here.
This is high tech.
This is what we're doing.
Pencil, paper, we have a pink highlighter. That's what we got, and we are doing our absolute best with it.
Yes.
Definitely appreciate what the blue team is doing there, stretching that lead out. Ben jamming courtesy Diamond City. He is jamming for the blue team right now.
Yeah, we got where they're cheating down there is Kurt Cobain is down there doing the play-by-play. He's played against every single person out there. He knows them all by name. He's cheating. He's just cheating.
Just because you have a breadth of knowledge doesn't mean you're cheating.
And that was some airborne. That was absolutely beautiful jump right there. And that was Ben Jamin. Ben Jamin had a great season. Got to watch him play a few times. Had a great tournament postseason. Ben Jamin is definitely going to be a major impact at the next level.
Remember what I talked about with these kids' resiliency. We're entering our 17th jam. 3 minutes. We're up here. We said it's hot. There's not a lot of air circulation up here, but I'm tired. I'm sweating. I've seen these kids take some pretty fierce hits. Nobody looks like they're even tired. They're still down there getting as low as possible. Their legs are bent. They're driving forward. Like, I'm exhausted right now. You got to understand that.
Yeah, this is they're definitely more impressive. It's like, if you look right there, Enigma in the white, standing up, the tall one right there. That's a 15-year-old young man. He's still got 3 more years to grow before he goes to the next level.
I mean, I wasn't my current height until I was at least 20.
Man.
I just have the slow.
No, I've been this tall since I was in 6th grade. So.
Oh, he told me, center and the center on the basketball team slowly regressed to point guard.
Yeah, it's a horrible curse. It really was. And then I just got fat. But that was much later in life.
You know why these kids are playing so well? They don't have to worry about bills and
exactly
mortgage payments. No, but honestly, this has been an excellent first half so far, and we're not even close to being finished.
Yeah, we got B Savage. He's going to rotate all the way back around. Not seeing the jammers up front here, but there is a fight.
There we go. It's number 7 in blue. That's Hater Tot.
Hater Tot.
And he finally does make his way past his foe, number 12 in white, High Roller.
That was a 53 seconds to get lead. No lonely jammer yet. That was waved off. And another cut call out here.
And I think that's going to give the advantage to the blue team and Hater Tot. Yep, it's a power jam for Hater Tot.
Oh, no! Good job by Enigma to make a little poke there.
Because usually on that play, the advantage would go to the player of a smaller size going to the line, being able to get through that spot quickly, but Enigma was able to close off the line.
And there's a good point I saw right there. So you see Enigma barely taps the little jammer and then just lays into the next person. That's respect. They're not going to just light up the smaller kids. And you'll see them all do that. There'll be a lot of positional blocking, and then they'll go and light up a big kid just to feel better about life.
I mean, it's not only about learning the basics. Positional blocking is always going to be an important part of roller derby at any age.
You go for the big hit, you're out of position afterwards. So unless it's a surefire way to get somebody out of bounds, don't do it.
I told my skaters back when I was coaching, if you close off a lane, you make a jammer think, and if you make a jammer think, you're beating them in that game within a game.
Yeah, if you go for the big hit and you miss, you're out of bounds. You go for the big hit and you make it, you're still out of position. Somebody takes you out. That's just a lot of times not worth it, but man, it is fun. It is fun to light somebody up occasionally.
It is. I can imagine. I say it is. I can imagine. My 2 days of roller derby practice ended with a stretched tendon. And I found out the bench was much safer for me.
Well, we got Road Rage and D-Snake back out there.
White team trying to do as much as they can to close out this half on a strong note. Every team wants to get to that century mark, and D-Snake is out first, lead jammer.
And D-Snake can score a bunch of points really fast if you give him an open lane to do so. Best way to slow him down is you gotta, and you're gonna slow him down, you're not gonna stop him, is you just gotta set up a nice hard tripod. And right now they have a campfire that's just getting blown up there. And there goes D-Snake. Good offense by White, but they didn't get the defense. They missed the defense part. Here comes D-Snake. He's going to make one more run. And he'll call it off. Oh, and a back block right at the end. They're going to call that one? Now, incidental contact. Don't let that go.
So 7-2, 7 points to 1 on that final jam. The white team does crack the century mark. They find themselves behind the blue team here in our JRDA Expo JRDA, 125 to 100 as we reach the half. This has been incredibly exciting, man. I cannot stress that enough.
This is a great game, so stick around. About 14 and a half minutes, we'll be back here, and we'll finish this day up. An amazing day of roller derby here in the Dallas area, finishing up with this all-star team. So stick around. Be back in about 14 minutes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this exhibition game, all young men from JRDA Open Division. First time we've ever seen this at MRDA. Very cool, showing these are the young men that will fill the spots as the years go by, and it's been a fun game. You're starting to see Whites playing their whole bench, make sure they're rotating through. There's no real there's no strategy out there necessarily to win the game as much as it is to get these kids experience and to show what they can do.
Right, like you said, there's parents out here for both for players on both teams, and the one thing, their children, their kids, go out and play well and get the opportunity to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And now for all you at home that reached out about who we saw out there as the referees and this and that, yes, there's a bunch of juniors out there. We love them all. We forget some of their names at times, but don't worry. I love them. I've announced for them. They're great. Let's move on. But, yeah, so we're working off of a fun little time here. It's been a really long day, but I couldn't be in a happier place. We volunteered for this. When we were asked, hey, who wants to stay late into this game, we were like, oh, yeah, we're doing this.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was volunteered, but I'm enjoying myself.
Oh, I volunteered for this one immediately.
You were on it.
All right, so good job by all the coaches, all the players there in the first half. We are back to the action, 30 minutes on the clock. Jam 1, 125-100, blue on white. Again, playing for an exhibition, not so much to win. They're not playing to lose, but they're not playing to win per se either. Just in time, off and running for white.
I wonder if the old, the back in the day bonus of you play well and you do this, there's a pizza party in it for you, is still at work here. Is that not a thing anymore?
It's got to be something going on
somewhere, right? Orange slices after the game.
We got a player, man, just shaking up a little bit. Good to see him get right back up.
Just in time, going to make his way back to the pack as he was forced to recycle by the blue pivot.
Oh, and love tap just gives a, I wouldn't call that a love tap, but.
Oh, that makes sense.
Oh, but he just gets lit up by Ben Jammin. You don't see love tap take a shot very often. He does that. He gives them. But he's having a little trouble. I think he might have the wrong wheels on. He's having a little trouble staying on his feet.
And that's another thing we talked about all day. And that's another thing that the young people have to get used to is really, I know they're already they've been taught it by the coaches, but getting used to making those equipment changes, necessary time in time.
Yeah, you have to bring more than one set of wheels, more than one set of toe stops. You have to have the proper gear, or you're just not going to be as successful as you should be.
Nice move there by Justin Time, jumping the apex to get past the blue blocker, Ben Jam in. And just like that, when the white team was down 95-59 at one point, they have cut it all the way down to a 10-point margin.
There's another 5. He's going to call it off, and we got ourselves a 5-point game. So, yeah, they're playing for fun, but don't let anybody worry. Like, so here comes D-Snake. They're competitive. Every single one of these kids is competitive. They're just not stacking the box. They're going to let everybody play still.
Exactly. But, I mean, when you have an all-star team like this, you said, competitive spirit as at work. That's what I personally love to see.
Yeah, but I'm watching this, and it's amazing to see just all boys out there because you don't see it. But, man, I really miss watching them out there with the young ladies, too, because they're so much fun to watch together. And there goes D-Snake, just amazing. And right behind him, that's going to be Reno with his mullet. D-Snake has the long blonde hair, which is actually mohawk. And look at that.
That is a long mohawk.
Oh.
Bit of technical information here.
And Love Tap just lays into Reno.
Blue team had a full penalty box, and an excellent block. That was going to be called. I believe that was out of play.
And D-Snake looks over and TJ goes, just keep going. Just do it.
Love Tap going to take a seat in the penalty box. So both chambers really kind of circling the track here. Blue team maintaining their lead right now, but the white team cutting into that advantage. See how the scores are tallied up as D-Snake calls off the jam.
And he wins that jam 9-8, but it's 136-129, so just a net gain of 1. Little breakdown of some of the blocking. Again, exhibition game, all-star game. You're going to have some of that breakdown in blocking. Not everybody runs the same strategies in each league, so.
I want to thank each and every one of you listening to our stream here. I want to remind you that this is, while we are watching this fabulous JRDA exhibition bout, this is the MRDA 2016 Championships, the Lone Star Showdown, and we will be right back to action with you at 9 a.m. sharp Central Daylight Time. Yes, it's still daylight time, just a few more weeks of technical summer left in the year. But we'll be right back here at 9 a.m. tomorrow for the semifinals.
Yeah, I saw a lot of great derby days. Seen a lot of great derby right now, but, man, it just common themes with the floor being an issue for some jammers, seeing just better men's derby than we've ever seen. Just everybody stepping it up. This has just been a fantastic day and shaping up to be a fantastic tomorrow as well.
You and I talked about it, and men's championships last year in St. Louis was my first go around. We've got a tie score. Can't leave it out
Look
here.
at that.
The white team coach going to go out and have a quick chat with the referees and then head back to his bench. But the white team chipping away at that lead. It was tied for a moment. Now the blue team goes back in front, 143-140. But as we were talking about earlier, last year there were 4, maybe 5 teams that looked like they really, really had a shot to come away with the championship. And in the end, it was 2 perennials, St. Louis Gatekeepers versus your mom in the finals. This year, we came in, there were teams 1 through 6 who, when you started the tournament, you had your ideas. Yeah, these are the higher seeded teams, these are the perennial favorites. But teams 1 through 6, you weren't sure who might come out. That's the best field that I've had the chance to see.
Bridgetown. I didn't get to see them play all year. They came they are 100% improved over previous years. No offense to New York, they played their hearts out. Bridgetown just took the game. Texas is going to be a big question mark. Which Texas team shows up? If it's a team that showed up at Brouhaha, they're not going to make the podium. If it's a team that's shown up other times, they have a chance of beating your mom tomorrow and heading off to that championship game. So Texas is a big, big question mark right now.
And then, of course, you have the St. Louis Gatekeepers, the reigning champions, and your mom, champions from 2014 and last year's runners-up.
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to have some good games tomorrow.
Yeah, stick around. But we have a good one right here. We got the white versus blue. Young men from JRDA Open Division. That's just in time. And Shocking Jay, he's going to head to the penalty box. So this is going to be a power jam for white. So white has made the comeback. They're down by 3 just after that tie right there.
Teams with the white jerseys and the blue numbers, the blue trim.
And here's the difference in strategy. Some teams play aggressive and will play a little offense. Some play passive. White's choosing to go passive here. And just in time will have to go. But look, then they just move up. Kind of more of an old school strategy. Let's see if they get a little more aggressive here. Get some points on the board.
Looks like they're trying to see how it works out. They do go in. They do get aggressive, and it does work out. They were able to clear 2 blockers very nicely.
And he got 3 on that one. And so we do have a lead change, 147, 143, 24 left in the bout. So White all over blue on these last few jams. And here comes D-Snake. So TJ is going to play the whole bench, and he is. But he looks like he's going back to his more golden jammers, let's say here. The more experienced jammers.
And with the young people, you might be able to play 2 jammers for a stretch. You might be able to play it, not necessarily 3, but 2 jammers back-to-back for a stretch if you need to.
Well, I'm watching like Just in Time and D-Snake, Enigma, these types of guys. They play the entire game. They play entire tournaments without ever coming out, basically. So this is not abnormal for them. We talked about the youthful energy. They have it all.
The only true source of the fountain of youth is actual youth.
Yeah. Oh, and D-Snake with the call it off. He thought he was lead. He is not lead. That is actually going to be Shocking J is your lead jammer. Did he get points out of that? He should have got no. They'll go 0-0 on that.
Love to see my man Frico Suave.
Frico.
He's one of the smallest players out here, but he immediately recognized the jammer was coming up quickly, and at speed, he came over, guarded the line, gave the jammer enough of a bump to force him off of his path.
Yeah, but actually what happened right at the end there was a cut call, so this will be a power jam for White.
That was the play that caused it.
Yeah,
excellent play by number 5 in the white shirt.
All right, so we're going to have a power jam right here. That's going to be unstoppable.
And again, we have that passive offense, and now the blue pivot going to take a trip to the penalty box. Ben Jamin going to spend some time in the Rydell Skates penalty box.
Yeah, look at that. KB making a jump back, trying to cause the cut. So good move on KB. Didn't get it, but smart move. Pull that out every now and again. Keep the jammer honest. And he is still not through to be lead here on this power jam. And that power jam is going to end here in just and it's over right there. So blue killed the power jam. And look at that. He's only going to get a shot at maybe 1 here.
Definitely want to see what kind of strategy, if it's any different than the older players employ. With a short lead, a lot of time left in the half, you've taken a penalty kill, but you do still have lead. And it looks like the white team is going to try and make multiple passes without calling off the jam. No signal from the bench yet to call off the jam.
Yeah, and that's going to be a pass over to Ben Jamin so he can get off and running as well. Very, very smart move. Ben Jamin, one of the better ones at the junior level. And look at that. So Blue didn't get the lead, but Blue is taking full advantage of this jam, taking the lead again. 13-4 jam. Let's take that back. 13-5 jam in favor of Blue on that, even though they didn't have lead. 156-151 off of that failed power jam, basically.
And there you might have seen, the strategy didn't quite work out. So you get input from the players on the bench as well as the coach. Go back to the well and try something different if you get the opportunity again.
All right, so we have seen just about everything today, and this game is no exception with just over 20 minutes left. I do like seeing the coaches. They're just coaching. They're not freaking out. They're not losing their minds. It is an exhibition. They're doing the best they can to make sure that they're getting the best out of these players, but it's coaching. The whole thing is just a coaching moment.
I mean, I was unable to go, too many all-star tournaments in my chosen professions. I did get to go to Honors Band a few times in the Chicago area, and believe me, I did appreciate that. But when you're getting instruction from guys the likes of JB the Rockstar, Quadzilla on the white team's bench, and you can see they're instructing these kids. It's not a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity necessarily, but it's something that you have to take advantage of. These are veteran star players in the sport.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You can learn. Everybody has great coaches. I've seen them out here. They're great coaches. But sometimes you got to learn from somebody else, and you got to take that information back to your coach because we're not all geniuses. we're very good coaches, but we don't know everything, you know?
I mean, I do.
Oh, you do. I mean,
You
that's
don't?
why you're up here.
I thought you did.
No, I know everything about other stuff, but not this stuff.
Oh, okay.
Other stuff. And there's 3 more points there, so that was a 3-9 jam in favor of White. So, again, White is retaking the lead, 161-159.
Might have more than a few lead changes here as we are under 20 minutes left in our exhibition bout.
So just when we said, you know, hey, this is still just a friendly by all given means, look at them pumping in D-Snake, Benjamin. They are pumping in the best that they can possibly do. They want to win. So they're being friendly. They're smiling at each other, but they're starting to go at it. Now that it's getting down to crunch time, they want to win. They really want to win here. They're all nice, but they're nice because they want to win.
You're seeing teammates, you know, players who are regular teammates, players who might have played against each other very frequently in their travels in Junior Derby. They know each other. They played with and against each other. Competitive spirit, like we said. They want to win. You know, you poke somebody in the elbow when you're coming back to practice, like, hey, remember that time I got you? Gary Payton style.
Yeah, we're looking at that. That was a good jam there by Benjamin and D-Snake. D-Snake will just stay out there if he can. If he doesn't get the score, he likes to stay on the track.
For anybody who didn't catch that reference, Gary Payton was a basketball player for a team in a long ago far-off city called Seattle. Much respect to the fans out there in Seattle.
So
Clay Bennett snaked y'all.
So Benjamin will be replaced on the line by his brother, Speed by Ryu. Both from Diamond City Miners. Oh, and D-Snake's having a heck of a time back there behind that tough blue wall. And there is your lead jammer for blue.
What a big saving block that was by Joe Hurt from the River City Riot. Blue team is going to have a very, very sizable advantage here. Their jammer well out in front. Now D-Snake does manage to get out of the pack, and a big hit leveled and shrugged off by number 26 in blue. I think we're going to see another lead change here.
So Speed Ryu and Enigma were going at it there. Enigma took the brunt of that hit. And there we go. We got another lead change. So we're going to go back and forth here. 164, 161, 17 minutes left here in the bout.
We've been fortunate. This is just the latest in a long line of competitive games we've had the chance to see today.
Yeah, and I love doing MRDA. It's one of my favorites. And I can tell you right now, I did not expect this game to be that fantastic. I've seen all these kids play. I know they're great, but I was like, all right, it's an all-star game. This is a really good game.
I mean, this is what people refer to as at speed. The players are moving at speed, which you might not expect from a younger class of roller derby.
Absolutely. Oh, look at that airborne. Just in time, Justin, 4 more points.
And that's a power jam for him as well, as Benjamin going to take a trip to the penalty box. So it'll be a power jam for the white team. And as you might be able to predict, folks, we're going to have another lead change. 166 to 164 already the score. And the white team looking to add more points on. Quadzilla calling instructions out to the pack, letting them know that now is the time to go to clear space for their jammer. And oh, a nice shrug hit.
Oh, and a late little undercut hit there. Kind of uncalled for. They're going to take a look to see if that's a penalty.
Good aggressive play from 2 Braids from the Tulsa Derby League Brats. Referees will discuss, as you said.
And they're going to discuss that a little bit there because 2 Braids high-five and thinking that was a pretty low hit. You got to watch those. That's a knee-level hit, and they're going to talk this over. Official review. This is TJ wants to look at that. I don't think it's more of it's a safety issue. You can't be celebrating hitting somebody in the knees on a late call like that. And that's a coaching moment. Talk to them, keep them in line. We all get a little excited at times here.
Want to once again thank all of you for watching our stream and coming out, if you have come out here to the NYTEX Sports Center in the Dallas Metroplex area, North Richland Hills, Texas. I want to thank our sponsors, Moda Skates, 100% for skaters by skaters. Unlimited color options through Skate Create by Moda Skates. Stop by their booth here at the NYTEX Sports Center and learn more. And you should totally come check them out and get sized up. They also have a nice photo backdrop for you to take photos. Let your peoples know that you were here. Moda Skates, 100% for skaters by skaters.
And there we go. Good little read. And it was a power start by White. Yeah, Spider's very proud of himself. Heck of an ad, man. So that's number 29, Unstoppable. Had the power start. He is your lead jammer. Did he get any points there before he called it? We'll see. None there, none there. No, you got to get your hips around, young man.
Well, I mean, this might be some clock management. 15 minutes left on the clock, but that kills the jam, and the blue team didn't score any points either. That's another very difficult aspect of the game to grasp for a lot of teams. Bridgetown Menace did an incredible job of using clock management today. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how the white team and the blue team utilize the clock in their favor.
Well, and Bridgetown was really relying. They have a fantastic defense. They're just being patient. They were sitting back. Shreddy was doing a great job. I think with this, maybe a little early doing some clock management. The defense isn't quite maybe a low block's going to be called on D Snake. Good call. Defense isn't going to be what it was with them. When you have a good defense like that, oh, yeah, you can just sit back, relax, take your time. This one, as you can see, will probably have, I wouldn't be shocked if we have another lead change right here.
Up a couple of blocker in the box as well as the jammer for the white team.
And Enigma gets the last hit. Enigma takes it. And Enigma with the Des Moines Derby Brats, world champions in the open division. Enigma, one of those big, tall, strong young men, only 15 years old, and he just gets lit up there. That will teach you a lot. You don't want to face up on Speed Bra U. That's a bad idea. But a good sportsmanship, they high five. These are learning moments, people, learning moments.
I mean, a great philosopher in our history once said, to be the man, woo, you got to beat the man. I mean, but in all seriousness, when I was a young man playing whatever sport, you wanted to try and take on the older kids, the bigger kids, to prove yourself, and they welcomed the challenge. And if they were, if they had the idea that you have to help rear the young kids yourself, you gave them all that you had, but you let them know, keep coming at me, keep coming. They want you to get better.
Yeah, we got Justin Time and Ben jamming. Now, let's keep an eye on the juniors here with the jammers as they're pumping the same jammers in over and over again now. Are they going to suffer the same fate as the men did, the older men, that the jammers wear down on this track because it is a very soft, cushy track? The blockers are going to last all night. That's not a problem. Are the jammers going to get tired?
They've started to wear down a bit. Early in the second half, I saw it looked like Unstoppable was had his hands on his knees a little bit coming around the track as the accumulated energy he's expending is probably starting to catch up to him. Probably starting to catch up with a lot of the jammers. Even as you said, the blockers are going to have an easier time of it. Might be starting to catch up with them as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got Pretty Boy Floyd and KB the Rockstar. So Blue now starting to pump in their top jammers over and over again here. They want to win. And they're seeing the game get away from a little bit because White has taken a lead and they're holding on to it. But KB is somebody that can erase the lead real quick, but he's going to have to get past guys like Snake out there who decide he's going to be a blocker on this one.
Nice way to shrug that hit by Pretty Boy Floyd. Let's see if he can follow through on his message he's trying to deliver to the blue team.
And KB goes airborne. Wow.
I was down track level during halftime, and I saw some of these kids. There was a little impromptu breakdancing competition. B Savage from the River City Riot was out there, and these kids were doing some moves that made my teeth hurt, made my ankles just like creak.
They do it during championship games. They will all of a sudden have like a dance-off. And Zenbad, if you're out there, we miss you, buddy. He is one of the best jam skaters you'll see, and he will tear it up. And he was the MVP of the JRDA championship. So with California Mayhem, great young man, great family, supports Derby wholeheartedly, and he is a heck of a jam skater.
All right, we've got a foot race and a good one out here in the Garden. Two braids in blue versus Unstoppable in the white shirt. Both jammers going to try and position themselves. Two braids goes down hard after a challenge from the white team. Blue team, minus a blocker, they're up to the challenge. Two braids is moving through the track very well, shrugs off a hit, and the blue team is going to draw first. 4 points to their tally.
And White will call that off. He should probably pick up 3, so they lose that one. 4-3.
Blue had the lead change momentarily, waiting for those points to go up on the board. There we go. 178 to 177. We got a contest here, man.
And this isn't like an old defensive slobber knocker we've been seeing all day. This is actually two offenses going at it. I mean, these teams are playing basically pure offense all the time.
And, I mean, no, it's not a discredit to the defense at all. We've seen them work, but like you said, in an all-star competition, defense is a lot more team cohesion, mental, having played together a lot.
And look at that. D-Snake off and running. Right behind him is Reno. The Mohawk versus the Mullet. And he will get his hips around. He'll call it, picking up a couple points. And no points on that one. That's probably going to be reviewed. Oh, no, they're going to keep pointing in his face that it's 0. There is no way that should have been a couple points. He was past a couple players when he called it.
And the white team going to ask for an official review.
Yeah, remember that was junior. TJ's clowning around out there, throwing his shirt.
I mean, it's always good to see the coaches have some fun. That's what I said before, and I cannot stress it enough to anyone out there listening who is a fan of Junior Derby, wants to get involved with Junior Derby. When you see coaches, when you see the adults, when you see the volunteers, they have to, make sure that the kids know that they're there to play, make it serious, be competitive, but also have fun. Coaches get too overzealous and volunteers get too overzealous, put too much pressure on them. That's when kids get burned out. That's when they don't want to play anymore.
Yeah, the kids will put pressure enough on themselves. And, the Des Moines Derby Brats are a good example of that. Yes, they have a very intense coach, and Mark Muse at times, but they put the pressure on themselves. They want to be the best, and they know what it takes to be the best. And they do this to themselves. That's okay. They want to be competitive. That's okay. I've been around other leagues that just want to dance and have fun. I've had them call timeouts, come up to me and go, I need you to play this song right now. Why? Because we're calling a timeout to have a dance break. Okay, if that's what they want,
right?
That's great. That keeps the kids in the sport. Each team's going to be a little different. These kids aren't probably dancers out there. They are jam skaters. I'll give them that. But
hey, no. The breakdancing moves I saw from those kids out there, they know how to dance, man. These kids got a little old school flavor in them.
Oh, and he got his points. So TJ will return to the bench, victorious. What was the best was he's yelling at the junior ref out there, and she just kept holding her fist up in front, like 0, 0. And he finally went out there, threw his shirt, and he gave points. Now he's joking around with them. But that was, you dig in. You stand your ground, young lady. Do not put up with his attitude.
Exactly. Referees out there, junior referees, they have a tough job as well. Might even be tougher.
Oh, and D-Snake back out there for White. Can't see who's on the other side. That's going to be Benjamin. Benjamin will be your lead jammer, but D-Snake is right there. I don't know if Benjamin knows he's there. Nope, didn't know he's there.
Well, he knows now. Definitely knows now.
Oh, Benjamin goes right through, calls it off. I think D-Snake's looking for a low block trip, but not going to be called. Incidental. Yeah, he looks back and goes, really, you're not going to call that? No, they're not going to call it.
Well, we almost had a junior pile up there as both of the jammers went down and slid into our junior referee in the pink helmet.
But I'd be remiss, too, if I didn't shout out their alternative names. So D-Snake is also known as the Mighty Morphin Power Midget. And Enigma is also known as Bieber. So
Bieber?
He's got that Bieber hair that floops over his eyes and whatnot. Yeah, I'm just jealous. So...
I mean, like we said, everything's gonna go to the future, man. You're gonna get that hair back. I believe in you. I believe in you. I'm gonna get my eyesight back.
All right, hold on. Watch Star Trek. They can cure cancer with like a little push of a button, but guess what? The doctor's still bald.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's not good.
Oh, what is? You talking
Picard
about
was
Voyager?
bald. Yeah, I mean, yeah. No, it's an impossibility.
Well, as long as I can get my Geordie LaForge visor, then I will be set.
Amazing.
Hey, Geordie LaForge was one of my first. Black dude with glasses on TV, man, on a starship, hero, instant hero.
Well, we all have to have heroes, and here's some of mine out here watching these youngsters go at it. They are having a great time, and they are just impressive derby players. And, we got Jumping Spider over here. Those who don't know, you should listen to Jumping Spider's podcast. An amazing podcast. If you're into sports, social stuff that goes along with the sports, check out his podcast. It is something fantastic.
I appreciate that, man. I've been on a hiatus for a while in the summer, but if you get the chance, please look up What's Good Radio on SoundCloud.com. I've been very fortunate to get some excellent people from all walks of life on my podcast to talk about any number of things, as Justin said, sports, politics, current events, music, movies, anything out there, what have you. Had a great interview with Zach Harper, a well-known NBA blogger, and half the podcast we talked about the fact that he's kind of started this club with his Twitter followers on. He loves watching bad movies. The only movie he said is too bad that he would never make anybody watch is R.I.P.D. So
that is a bad movie.
I heard
that was a bad movie.
He said it was absolutely awful.
It was a sure act of endurance to finish that movie. That was a willpower to get through it. So if you're part of making that movie, please do not light up our Twitter and Facebook. I just don't like your movie. So let's not
give Jeff Bridges. Jeff Bridges is in the getting them checks all-stars.
I like me some Ryan Reynolds and Jeff Bridges, but yeah. So come on, don't hurt us.
Sometimes you make a Jonah Hex meets Men in Black, and it doesn't quite work out for you.
Yeah, sometimes you make a Green Lantern, sometimes you make a Deadpool. You know what I mean? All right, back to the action now that we have that long break, and the coaches are saluting each other. Now the coaches are just going to mess with each other the rest of the time. And Blues got the lead once again, 181-180, 8.5 left. And this fantastic first and only exhibition game of the young men of JRDA, all men here at the MRDA Championships. And there is your lead jammer for White. So, all right, here we go. And I believe that's going to be unstoppable. And Two Braids is going to take a nice big hit. Ooh, going down, staying down a little bit there. I think that one hurt. I think now we're starting to see some fatigue kick in here.
Right. I mean, there's 8 minutes left in the period clock, and we've had such a tight, close game. These teams have been expending a lot of energy. They are really fighting for position in all spots on the track.
And there we go, and the lead will be regained by White. Two Braids finally comes through, but here we go. White's going to make another run at it, try to get a couple more points. Enigma tried to open up a seal and then ended up closing the gap on his own, too. So
that's one way to close a jammer down.
Oh, and look at that. There looks at the back of the bench, and TJ and Quad tell him just keep on going. Oh, another. The hits are coming now, left and right.
That stop block was called on number 2 in White.
That's Love Tap. Love Tap is just a beast. Couldn't be a nicer kid out there. Look at that smile on his face, but man, I do not ever want to skate against that young man, ever. He will light you up and mess up your whole world.
Two Braids going to take just a bit of a I'm still here shot. He makes his way around the track. That was high roller with the.
Oh, and he looks back. Moses keeps telling him to keep going. Don't call this off.
Here's where we get into that idea of clock management. They're just going to try and run things down.
And that is the end of that jam.
And, we talked a little bit about it. The White team was rotating through their whole bench. We do have a stop and play here on the track now.
And we'll keep going here. Yeah, we have somebody that is down, but that was a 14-4 jam. So Mo and TJ did the right thing by keeping them going. Rest returning back there. Looks like somebody just went down a little hard. I think that's maybe Two Braids over there. I'm looking at the hair draping down, but.
And you could tell he was having some fatigue. He had taken more than a few hits, and it might have been getting to that point where he was having trouble staying up. I do want to get into one quick issue that I've been encountering in my time in roller derby, and I want to see really what everybody can do, ideas that we can do about it, and that's diversity. I went out into the track and I noticed we had a lot of kids, different heritage, looked like Hispanic, Caucasian, from different walks of life, as we said, are all around the country, but there's so many more people out there, and this is such an enjoyable sport. Me, myself, I'm African-American. I know that Quadzilla, I didn't realize the dude was African-American until I saw him, and there's so many other people out there, WIFTA and MRDA. You have a guy like Rolomite on Your Mom. You have Luna Negra on Rat City. Excellent jammers, excellent skaters all around. We saw Don Juan on Bridgetown Menace today. But, I mean, when I was coming up, when I was in after-school care, summer daycare, we always went to the roller rink at least once a month, and we loved it. It was something that was like a rite of passage. And, you know, the African-American community especially. But when I come to roller derby, I don't see a lot of black skaters.
And I think here's the thing. I don't know if it's a matter of diversity anymore. I think we've moved past diversity. I think we are in inclusion stage at this point. And 2 braids is up and going. That's great. But I think we're in an inclusion state that anybody we can reach and touch, anybody that will come in, will be included. We will ensure that everybody will be included. We are going to be an inclusionary group, whether it is MRDA, JRDA, WFTDA, JFTDA, which might be coming up as well. Any of these, we are going to be as inclusionary as possible. Now back to your question, how do we have more diversity within that inclusion? And I think we just need to reach out to every community that we can, and that's happening over time. And again, I'm with you. As you know, I was coming up through roller derby. There wasn't a whole lot of different colors of the rainbow out there, let's say. That's been a more recent event, but it's good to see, and I think we're touching every community at this point. It's going to take some time.
It's definitely growing, I think, and this is part of it, just growing, developing, and maintaining that interest in the sport. From players, I was talking to a young man from Houston that came over with his coach, and he's primarily a skateboarder, but he's getting into roller derby. Yeah. I was talking to him about it.
Well, think of the cost, too. I mean, you're going to have dues. You're going to have pads. You're going to have skates that, as you're growing, you're going to have to replace the skates. You have helmets, pads. You have travel, everything else. So if you're getting in a situation, you're reaching out to communities, no matter what background that be or heritage that be, it's a matter of also cost.
Right.
You know, the leagues have to make enough money to support all these, and there's a lot of teams that do a very good job on the business side. But you also got to make sure that, you know, these kids are also being able to pay and their families being able to pay to afford the sport. So as we grow, which we certainly will keep growing. I mean, I know the sport's taking an attendance hit here or there, but this sport is still growing at a rapid pace. We will see more inclusion. We will see more diversity. And I think if we stick with inclusion over diversity and just make sure that we are reaching out and accepting and holding on to anybody who wants to be part of this community, it will grow. It will catch on more and more with everybody then. So.
And I know that's definitely a thing that parents of younger skaters have to, I mean, not only equipment, but you have to keep changing equipment as skaters grow and their body, you know, they mature and their bodies fill out. You have to get larger skates, you have to get larger pads, wrist guards, elbow pads, helmets, everything like that. But I really do agree with what you said.
And I think
you're
asking,
hold on to the kids.
Yeah, and you're asking good questions that usually occasionally get posed on iDerby, but these are questions that need to be put out there of, hey, are we doing this right? I really think that all 3 of the major leagues are doing it right. They're being inclusionary, and that will pay off in the long run. We have a power jam here for Blue and Benjamin as Justin Time heads the box. So good question, and I think we're on the right path, at least from everything I'm seeing out there. All right, and here we go. So we have 197, 194. Benjamin going to try to switch the pipe. There he goes. He's going to switch the score right there. And he went down very strange. And a legal procedure. Oh, mouth guard came out. So a legal procedure. Remember, on the junior level, that happens a couple times. You are bounced from the game. So a legal procedure on Benjamin for losing his mouth guard. He tried to grab as quickly as possible, but it basically landed on the foot of the ref. So you're not going to get away with that one.
That's about the unluckiest you could be.
Yeah, pretty much. No call. Nope, there is a call. Back block. So just a weird turn of events here on this back corner. Okay, so KB also reported in the box. So just very... All right, we'll go with this. I'm not quite sure everything that just happened there, but I do know that Blue's out. They picked up